Well guys, AC works, wiring's fixed, the fit is go. Welcome to VTEC Academy, you're about to get schooled. So the fit is finally a nice daily driver. Remember we had that problem with this light not turning on? Watch this. It works. Turns out the problem was a wire that was frayed. Remember, I tested it to make sure it had continuity to ground. Well, it did have continuity to ground, but the problem was the wire was actually broken, so even though it was making contact, there wasn't enough there to have good conductivity, so that's why the light wasn't coming on. Brian, ace mechanic, not me, Brian, the other Brian, the one that looks like an anemic Santa Claus. Brian too. He made the discovery. He checked continuity and then was inspecting the wiring. He found a place where the wiring looked kind of rough and it happened to be broken right there. So he repaired the wire and now we have our running lights working as they should and everything's fine with that. Also, the AC is working now. Remember, we didn't get the AC working. There was problems with that. We did a couple of things in order to solve that problem. First off, shout out to Mark over at Honda Street Garage. He actually sent me a text telling me somebody's solution to this. So let me tell you what we did. In fact, I'm going to lift the car up so we can look at it. So let's come on over here and take a look right here. This right here is the pressure sensor. Now normally the way a fit works is the pressure sensor has a 2-wire pressure sensor that just basically gives you continuity as long as there is not too much pressure. So what's happening is there is continuity with this and continuity with a thermal switch on the AC compressor, and as long as those are working, the AC will work in your fit. But the TSX and the Accord ECUs are somewhat different. So on the TSX ECU, which is what we wound up using, and we wound up using TSX ECU for 2 reasons. Number 1, we got the AC working. Number 2, that actually has a K-tuner or Honda Flash Pro available for it, so we can actually tune the motor. Anyway, that uses a 3-wire sensor. You see we're here, there are 3 wires. This 3-wire sensor works completely differently than the 2-wire sensor that was in there before. The 2-wire sensor just basically gives you continuity unless there's too low pressure. The way this works, this actually has an operational range. So if it's too low, sends a signal back to the ECU. If it's too high, there's a signal back to the ECU, and then the ECU will shut off the AC. So with this 3-wire sensor, we basically wired that in to our computer. We have a wiring diagram right here available for you. You can download a PDF if you want to on the website. But we did that. Now what happened was originally with the 2-wire sensor that was there before, we had to jump those 2 wires so that the FIT's climate control still saw continuity there. It was just no longer monitoring pressure. It was only monitoring the heat sensor on the compressor itself. So once that was done and the TSX ECU was installed, it works like a champ. We have freezer cold AC all the time. So now this car has turned into an awesome daily driver, one that I would actually daily drive every day. It's got tons of room in the back for as much cargo as I want to carry, and it's super comfortable and it's quick to drive. Plenty of room. Granted, I'm only 5'7½", but
I thought you were 5'9".
Yeah, not today. Been a long day. It's really a nice ride, but like I said before, once I get this thing running, I think I'm going to sell it. Now, we could have done more with this. We could have actually added some modifications to this K24. We could have actually got either a K-tuner or a Flash Pro and actually tuned it to try to get more horsepower out of it. But basically, I just wanted to show you guys what was involved in doing the swap. One thing that has people talking is this right here. This is Hasport's idler pulley bracket. This allows you to use the K24 in this and keeps the idler pulley from interfering with the mount. This idler pulley bracket is now on the Hasport website, so you can purchase it. This makes the swap a lot easier because basically you're going to use an idler pulley. You don't really have power steering. This has electric power steering. And that prevents the idler from being in the way and actually interfering with the mount. So just go ahead and head over to hassport.com and you can pick up that bracket right there. That was another kind of one of the missing pieces here. I am going to continue to develop parts for this particular swap. Make sure if you order these mounts, you need to make sure you know what transmission you're using. The one that we found was the easiest was the one from the 06 Civic Si. We were able to modify the cables for the V6 Accord slightly, and they worked fine with this. I think what I need to do is actually make cable kits specific to this mount kit. So that's a product I'm probably going to be working on coming up. So one of the other things is the possibility of maybe a header that works with this particular subframe. It'd be very similar to the one that you use for the Fit. So ASP makes one, so you can order one from them for the CRZ. It's the same for the Fit. This car should potentially be legal in all 50 states with this swap. There is nothing on here that's unusual. This basically has 2012 TSX emissions. So if you live in California, this should be a legit swap for you, as long as you put the catalytic converter on it, and as long as you use a ECU that's the same year as your car, or newer. So it should be just fine. And it makes an amazing daily driver. I think it's a lot of fun, super peppy. I would love to take it to the track, put some suspension on it, take it to the track, but unfortunately, we're gonna let it go. We have too many projects, more TSX stuff, some TL stuff, CRV stuff, CRX stuff, some EK Civic stuff, some EG Civic stuff, some J Series stuff, some K Series stuff, some ZC stuff, some B Series stuff.
H series stuff?
And it's some H Series stuff. We got stuff. Time to let this one go to somebody who will do something with it and maybe take it to the track a little bit and see what it's capable of. I'm really going to be sorry to see it go. One of the things that makes the Fit so much fun is its weight. It's lightweight, very tossable, easy to drive on the track, really fun. So weight is important. So after we've K-swapped our Fit, we want to see what it compares to a stock Fit. Now the stock Fit, according to the interwebs, weighs about 2,577 pounds. Now our car is ready to be weighed. Let's see what it weighs with a K24Z swap. Okay, let's see what our total is. We are now at 2,590 pounds. So basically, what's that? Did I say 2,577?
Yeah.
Yeah, so added about 13 pounds, although that's probably not accurate. This fuel tank's pretty empty. I don't know if they weigh theirs full or not.
They probably weigh it empty.
If they weigh it full, add 60 pounds. If they weigh it empty, we're right there. That's not very much. 14 pounds more.
Figure out the horsepower per.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So double the horsepower. So let's do the math on that real quick. So at 2,577 pounds, we have, let's see, engine. It is 117 horsepower. So 2,577 pounds divided by 117, that's 22 pounds per horsepower. That's what we are sitting there. Now this K24Z, let's just put it at the stock horsepower, which I believe is 204, 2591, and now let's divide that by 204. We're coming in at 12.7. So that is so much better. I think we need to get this thing on the dyno and see if we can extract as much horsepower as we can.
Or not. It's sold, remember?
It is sold.
Oh.
But I think we need to get it on the dyno anyway. So maybe we can talk the new owner into a Flash Pro and a trip to the dyno. All right, guys, that's pretty cool. That is a significant upgrade. Well, hell, just when this thing gets fun, we're gonna get rid of it. That brings a little bit of a that brings a little bit of a sad conclusion to this. Maybe we can talk the guy into some upgrades and feature this thing a little bit more. But man, this thing was a blast to do. It's been a blast to drive, and I've really enjoyed it. But we've got another fit project, so we're gonna bring that out next. Give that a see what we can do with that car. Anyway, guys, if you're interested in buying this, I'm sorry, it's already sold. We do have some other cars in the future that we'll probably be selling because I don't need all the cars I have. At least not all 30 of them. Anyway, guys, thanks a lot for joining us on another episode of VTEC Academy. I really appreciate you being here because we have so many followers and so many people liking and watching our videos. We've been able to do some amazing stuff, and I want to thank you guys for helping us get to where we are today. Anyway, if you're not a subscriber, please think about liking and subscribing. You can click the bell down below, and that actually gives you access when we have new videos. We got a lot of stuff coming out in the future here, some J-Series stuff, some racing stuff, and a new fit project. Anyways, thanks again. We'll talk to you later.